Center for Spiritual Living in Visalia, California. Our first 15 minutes is for meditation. So if you want, take this thought into your meditation. And our next, one more. There we go. So our theme for this month is Light Within the Shadows. And our meditation today is my inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. So we'll see you in 15 minutes. Welcome back to Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia. Thank you, Kevin. He was very inspired this morning. You know, he just does that ad lib every morning, right? Oh my gosh, it's pretty incredible. So now is our meet and greet time. We're going to have people coming in, and we've got cake and wonderful fruit and things back there for after service. So get yourself whatever you want to do to get settled for our service, and we'll be back in 15 minutes to start. We're ready? We're ready to go. Okay, we're ready to start our service. If everybody will take their seat. Welcome again to Center for Spiritual Living Visalia. And the band is going to kick off our morning.
Sitting alone in your room, come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down your knitting, the book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Come taste the wine, come hear the band. Put down your horns, are celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. What's good's permitting, some prophets of doom to wipe every smile away. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine, come hear the band. Come blow your horns, start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. Start by admitting from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a stay. Life is a cabaret, old chum. It's only a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret.
All right. Thank you, band. I love that song from Cabaret. Good morning, everybody, to Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia, California. I'm looking, do we have any new people? We have some semi-new people, only second time here. All right, welcome. Second time here. I think that's it. So it is birthday Sunday, and you have any birthdays? May birthdays? Gwen! Oh, all right. When are your birthdays?
May 24th.
May 24th. May 4th. we just missed you. Oh, May. We got lots of May. And Stan, our wonderful tech person, took the day off because today is his birthday. Yeah, so Dino is up there doing all the tech for us today. So let's sing happy birthday to all the wonderful birthday people.
Happy birthday to you.
Us.
Happy birthday to you.
Us.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
So congratulations, we have wonderful cake, and Carol brought wonderful, yes, she wants to make sure you know that she brought fruit, so people who aren't going to take the cake, there's wonderful fruit, and there's some leftovers from our Friday show, art show too, so please stay afterwards and enjoy. So I think we're ready for our announcements, and before we start, I want you to, the camera's going to follow me over, because I want you to see what some of our very unique artwork here. So this is a telephone, or used to be a telephone. Now it's a lamp. These are gourds that are lamps. This is an old heater that's now a lamp. So we're calling this the Eclectic Art Show, because let me tell you, it's eclectic. All kinds of unique art. Please take time to look at all our wonderful art. And we had a great show Friday night. We sold a couple of little pieces, so that was great. So a couple of other announcements we have. Our big show is coming up Saturday. We've been pushing this and pushing this. So Donna and Bruce have got their lineup going. They've been practicing. The trio, we have our cowboy hats now. So that's important because we're singing a cowboy song. Florence has got her fancy dress that's going to swirl around, and she and Stan are going to dance. So it's going to be such a fun thing. It's the day before Mother's Day, so bring your favorite mother and come to our concert. Or your unfavorite mother. It doesn't have to be favorite. Bring somebody and come to our wonderful show Saturday, 7 o'clock here. Tickets are only $20. You can get them here today. You can get them on our website, or you can get them at the door. And Explorers is also today. Explorers is our wonderful monthly group where we talk about all kinds of interesting things. And this time we're talking about the Sermon on the Mount. We've been talking about the Sermon on the Mount, but this time, this is what these are the things she said we're going to talk about today. If an eye or body part offend, remove it. What about divorce, lust, and adultery? Do not swear an oath. And the one everybody knows, an eye for an eye. So we're going to be talking about it from New Thought perspective and other perspectives. So I hope you'll stay or go out for lunch, come back at 12:30, and we'll have a great discussion. And now I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Nan for the other announcements.
Well, good morning, and thanks, Donna. We've got lots going on there, you know. It's very interesting. I was really happy to see all of those unusual art pieces. I'd heard about them, but being able to see them now on the screen was really special. Thank you. And a very special happy birthday to all of you with May birthdays. Stan, Hope, Gwen, all of the folks out there, everyone that I've missed, big, big happy birthday to all of you. You know, we want to get Let's Talk Science of Mind started on Sundays before the end of May, but I've only heard from one person. Now, it was in the newsletter, and we talked about it at the annual meeting. And in the newsletter, everybody was asked to go ahead and get in touch with me and vote on whether you would like to have this little event, which is an informal chat group about science of mind topics, whether you'd rather have it before service from 9:45 to 10:15 or after service from 11:45 to 12:15. So please do get a hold of me. You can call, text, email, whatever it is. The information is in the newsletter. There's information in the center for my information, and also on our website and also on Facebook. On every posting that I make, the information for me is there. So if we could have the next slide about our new class. Now, this is really a class that is a book study class. It's non-certificated, it's informal, and I like to think of it as a lunch and learn opportunity. It's going to be with this book, How to Change Your Life, an Ernest Holmes classic, and it's going to start May 24th from 12 to 2 your time, Pacific time, and it will continue for 6 weeks. We're going to use the book. It's free, doesn't cost anything. It will be on Zoom, and there are flyers on the table and a sign-up sheet. So if you're interested, please sign up so we can determine participation before it starts. You would have to purchase the book if you don't have it, and it's not available in the bookstore as I understand it. So it's available from many online sources. You won't have any trouble finding it. It is a wonderful study, How to Change Your Life. 6 weeks, imagine that. Or less. And now it's my pleasure to share our inclusivity quote today. Now, this quote was selected by Bobby Levine, who's one of our team members. And Bobby selected this quote. And, you know, we meet on Mondays, the inclusivity and diversity team. We focus on inclusivity and we honor diversity. And one of the things that we do is our team members select a quote for the Sunday service. But beyond that, as we mentioned in our report last week, we talk about some very important issues about diversity and how we can become more inclusive. I highly recommend and invite you to join us on a Monday afternoon. It's 1 o'clock your time that we meet, and I look forward to having you come in and visit with us. So this inclusivity quote today is, and it's from Oprah Winfrey, "You have to find what sparks a light in you so that you, in your own way, can illuminate the world." As a perfect segue to our weekly affirmation about light and shadows. And so our affirmation this week, and I am doing everything this week because Janice, our dear beloved practitioner, is just a hair under the weather, and she will be back in no time at all. She just needed a little rest today. So our weekly affirmation, if you want to repeat after me, it's up on the board for you to see. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. Let's say that again. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. So it's also my privilege today to get to do our opening treatment. So if you would join me in prayer, just a moment where we come together in the presence of the divine, whatever we may call it. I just bring to mind and recognize right now that there is only one power, one presence. And I know that I am part of it, that everyone here and beyond and through all humanity is a part of it. All creation is a part of that source, that one life. And as we live this life, this one life in harmony and unity, I speak a word today for this service. But before that, I speak a word for individuals everywhere who have been involved and hurt and harmed by the endless shootings that take place in our country. So I speak a word of peace for the victims, for the families, and for the pain in the shooters' hearts that was felt when they created these acts of separation from love. I speak a word of harmony and a word of healing for our country and for each other as we move through these times that are challenging. I hold each of us and our country and our world up on the high altar of consciousness for a revelation of love and peace and compassion and kindness. And I know that those spirit qualities that are in each of us are prevailing through this service today. And that for each of us, we are the lights that the world has been waiting for. And we can and will shine in the center stage of our lives to be the illuminating path for those whose hearts hurt, for those whose personal stress creates a separation of false belief that they are alone, and a resolution for the loneliness of all individuals who experience that thought, that feeling, that emotion. So in this moment, I speak a word of love, peace, and compassion and kindness that is everywhere today, including in this service. I know that it is blessed. I know that everyone here is blessed. I know that all creation is blessed by the love of that one infinite, universal intelligence and love. And I release this word knowing that it is already so and had to have been done in the law of mind, just as I spoke it. And together we may anchor and affirm it by agreeing, and so it is. And now it's time for another wonderful song by our band. And this is one that you all know, and I want you to be singing along real loud, because it's This Little Light of Mine, and you know about this, and we're going to be talking about these little lights that we are. So get with it now. Take it away, band.
This little light of mine, here we go. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Do that one more time, here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, here we go. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Ooh. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine around the world. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine around the world. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine around the world. Oh, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, we'll all shine, we'll all shine. Now let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shine, let it shine. Let it shine. All right.
There we go. Good morning again. My lips were moving and nobody could hear me, right? That happens, and it's probably a blessing in its own way. Good morning again. And I love that little boogie woogie thing that they did with that song. It was very much fun. Well, happy first Sunday in May, everybody. The flowers are blooming, and certainly we had the bees buzzing in the center this past week. They appeared last Sunday. And in case you missed the article in our e-newsletter, we had Matt's bees come in to remove a swarm that had infiltrated the wall in the men's room from an exterior vent access. Matt humanely extracted the queen, the bees, and their hive and relocated them to his bee farm for safer living and the promise of longevity. And a big thanks to Steve Kinshu for finalizing the exterior vent screening after Matt was finished with the rest of the job, including the drywall repairs. Now, this was an unexpected $400 expense, and if you would like to contribute a little extra to our humane bee relocation cost, or what we might call the Bee Defense Fund, please just make a note of it on your check or as you donate on our website. You never know. The queen might send you an invitation to a house swarming, if she likes her new home. So this week we begin a new month and a new theme of light within the shadows. And we're going to be exploring how to appreciate and welcome both light and dark for what they each bring and offer each other and us in harmony. And you know, the bees are a good example of that. They go out and they're in the light. They come back and they're in the dark of the hive, and there they were, stuck in the wall, making all sorts of bee pollen happen and all of these things going on in there. And they don't mind light and dark. Well, light and dark coexist together, and there isn't one without the other. And they seem to work independently, but they're actually working in unison in complementary action. Yeah, most of the time we think of darkness as bad and light as good. And that judgment promotes a false belief that continues fear and separation from ourselves, each other, and our source. It also impacts our level of security in living the totality of our being. If we're fearful of our dark side, of our own shadows, believing that it's a negative and harmful part of us, we create a dichotomy of existence that keeps us from living our full expression of life. Shakespeare wrote a play in 1623, As You Like It, and one of his most famous quotes originated in that play. Act 2, Scene 7, the character Jacques says, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players." He was using this as a metaphor that compares the world to a theater stage and human beings to actors who play different roles in different times of life. So my talk title this week is Lights, Camera, Action. You know, I think we can all agree that throughout our life, we do play different roles. We're never playing the same role in our 70s as we were in our teens, and rightfully so. Our stories change as we grow and experience life. We expand our horizons and make new choices for experiences. We learn, and our ability to expand our buffet table of choices is often based in our beliefs and fears about our wholeness that we acquired when we were quite young. Some of us were taught and instructed to be subdued, to not be seen or heard, and to stay in the background. These types of teachings seeped into our subconscious mind, and boy, can they wreak havoc with our intentions to excel, grow, and expand in our life. It's hard to be on the center stage of life if we live in the shadows of poor self-worth and value. It's also a modern day way of our culture to hide our light so as to not outshine others or make them feel insecure. In reality, who or what purpose does that serve? Well, no one, not us or others. We were each created with our own personal signatures that are unique to us and that only we can use to author our story. No two things in life are the same, even if they're born identically within the same species. We each have our own special sauce, as McDonald's might say, to share in the world. And the world wouldn't be the same without us, or else we wouldn't even be here. We each have a special purpose in life that is ours to live and bring forth to the center stage. That doesn't mean we're all Buddhas, Mother Teresa's, John Lewis's, Lao Tzu's, or even Oprah Winfrey's. If you think about the metaphor of Shakespeare, our lives take place on the stage of this physical planet. The scenes are decorated by all the people, places, and activities in which we engage. Every day that we wake up is a new scene in whatever act we're living in our life. So when we're infants, we're in Act 1, and we don't move around much, but we are usually in the center of the stage of everyone around us, right? We've lived in total darkness for months, and now we're living with a lot of light, and what a shock that must be. I don't remember it myself, but perhaps there are some of you who do. But I do recall as a new mom that I was really grateful for the quiet darkness of the nights that my infant son slept and I could catch a few hours of solid rest. And in that scene of my story, sometimes the light of day was as exhausting as if he hadn't slept all night. In that Act 1, in that act, I truly appreciated and enjoyed the darkness. And I consider the stages of our lives to be the acts of our lives in general terms. Every day we wake up is a new scene on the stage, and we set that scene with our mood, our words, our energy of the day. Those can all be affected by how we're feeling. We can about how we're feeling about the day, the events that might happen, and even the energy we might think we have to expend about everything that we have to do. We may decide we don't want to be center stage today, but in reality, every choice we make, every action we take sets us squarely in the center of our own story and life production. We get to decide whether we're living our life's performance on the center stage or if we're living behind the curtains of fear, fatigue, failure, or any old learned belief that makes us think, believe, or act as if we have no importance or value in the amazing story of our own life. Many times we have inspiration. We may even have a passion about something we love to do that isn't in our current storyline. So we hold back and we don't write it into our script because of our doubts, perceived challenges, or a lack of trust in our own intuitive nature. And I have a little story I'd like to share today. I think there's something to be learned by all of us in it, regardless of what scene and what stage we're playing out our life story on today. It's about a person named Nia. Now, Nia always loved the thought of acting. They so admired people who could go into character and take center stage with confidence and creativity. They noticed how some would make their characters come alive in different ways than others, which made the characters they were portraying more real, vibrant, and unique. Nia always dreamed of creating an inspirational one-person show that highlighted the joys and challenges of life and ways to move through and rise above. Nia thought that such a show could be entertaining, educational, empowering, and enriching. And Nia would secretly practice acting out some of their ideas. They gained more confidence and skill in these private moments, and they eventually enrolled in a performance workshop theater group and tested out some of their material. They got great feedback and encouragement from their instructors and the participants. They sought out an experienced mentor to help them hone their craft. Nia found themselves becoming immersed in this beautiful space of creativity. This seemed to be a niche for them that brought great joy and passion. As Nia improved in their acting abilities, their mentor eventually encouraged them to try out for a performance opportunity within the theater group. And they decided to reveal and showcase their one-person show that had evolved to include social topics on gender identity, racism, and other topics of marginalization and oppression. They placed first in the competition, and their show debuted. It was heartfelt, moving, entertaining, and told a story about truth, justice, and freedom. Now, Nia had to dig deep for the courage to come forward in this way. All their efforts and hard work paid off given the accolades and testimonies that poured in as the show gained notoriety of how it helped people move through similar issues. It was everything that Nia used to dream about coming to life right there on the center stage. Now, obviously, Nia had to move past some fears, challenges, and doubts in their shadows to get their success on the center stage of their life. In doing so, they helped many others understand and opened the door for others who may have needed their support. One of the side features of this story is the use of gender-neutral pronouns. And you might have listened to this story as I told it and thought how odd it sounded and if I was really telling it correctly by referring to Nia as they, their, or them. You may even have experienced some judgment about it or some feelings of rejection. To individuals who step into their non-binary, gender-fluid, or non-gender identity, that center stage of their full expression can be pretty fearful. Their assessment of the darkness within themselves that is not like others creates separation, critical self-judgment, and loneliness. And when they take the steps to begin to live their authentic lives, they step to the center stage and the light that they are shines brightly. I took this moment to acknowledge and remind all of us that the use of gender-neutral pronouns for individuals who identify as non-binary, gender fluid, or non-gender as important to them as you and I using our first names in conversation with each other. So if you have someone like this in your life, even if you don't understand them fully, you can begin to release your judgment about them by using their preferred pronouns. If you have any question about what they prefer, ask. They'll tell you. When we take that inclusive step, it's a moment of recognition for all of us in collective mind, collective consciousness, that we choose to move to center stage in our lives to co-create a society where everyone's light shines. When we take center stage, there's an opportunity for us to show up consciously and authentically in the situation and fully bring who we are. There's also an opportunity to tap in and dig deep to allow our true divine selves to shine like no other time before. We get the chance to be our light, no matter how much darkness we are currently experiencing. In fact, those dark experiences can enhance and strengthen who we really are and bring true depth of character to the role if we apply it. We have to own our greatness for it to truly shine forth. If we choose, we get to show up and show out. We get to turn it on, turn it up, take center stage, and show the world and ourselves who we truly are as a full expression of God. Even through times of oppression and injustices that are inequitable, we can still shine. Some of us may not have had the opportunities and treatments that others may have had. And despite these circumstances, we can still rise above the situation and turn towards fortitude, resilience, courage, and internal strength to shine brightly, and in doing so, encourage and support others just as Nia did. The truth is unwavering. We're all here for such a time as this to support the healing of our planet, all of its life forms, and beyond. Our individual lights help the collective light to shine brighter. As we open to living out loud, we can bring all that we are to the center stage, regardless of what act we may now be living in our life. What we may call imperfection is the perfection of God, and there is no such thing as being broken in God. No such thing. We're as we are and can show up just like that. And we must realize that there is always wholeness in what we seem to think is brokenness. There is healing in the midst of the vulnerability and courage to come raw and naked in a judgmental world so that we may live in authenticity and radiate our light fully and with joy. I leave you with this definition of light in our Science of Mind text written by Dr. Holmes, our founder. He says, light stands for the radiation of pure spirit, casting its ray through humans by incarnation. There is absolute light as well as perfect life at the center of everyone's being. You know, we just sang This Little Light of Mine, and this is what we were singing about, that radiation of pure spirit, and that pure spirit is the love within us all. If we bring our light, our shadows, our nooks and crannies, and everything else to the center stage, it makes for authentic, genuine, and stellar performances and participation in our life. If each of us does our part and we bring it all together, then we're on track to have a much more holistic outcome than anything we've ever experienced before. And this is what is needed as we stand ripe for change on the center stage of life right now. So I say, lights, camera, action. Get your light and your love and shine brightly wherever your life story may be playing this week. And so it is. And now, let's just have a little prayer here. A little prayer to reinforce that light that is within us, that light, that infinite, loving, pure light of spirit that is the divine spark that is in all creation. It's everywhere. We have but to look and we will see it. We can see that divine spark and recognize it in all individuals, all humanity, all creation, regardless of what the human condition picture may look like. So this day, I hold high the light of the one in each of us, knowing that it expresses fully that as we go through this week, each person is blessed in their own way as they continue their life story wherever it may be playing this week on the theater of this world. I bless each and every person, knowing that they are exactly where they need to be, doing exactly what they need to be doing, so that their light may shine brighter than ever before, filled with love, and sharing it with each and every creation around them and all humanity. And so I speak this word, knowing that we are co-creating a world that works for all. And in so doing, I give great thanks. I bless each person, all creation, and I let it be. And so it is. And now, in case you didn't get the message about you are the light, I think this little song that they're going to do next will be a good reminder. I'll see you after the music. Take it away, everybody.
Not mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all it's all divinity divine. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, piece of it all. I am alive.
Thank you so much. I love when you do that song, Hope, and thank you, Dawn, for chiming in, and our fellows in the band. I want to give a big thank you to Kevin and Phil and Joe. It's always wonderful to hear all of you play. And, you know, I want to give a special welcome to our bright little light, that little person in our center that we want to do special welcome. We're so happy to have young lights as well as other lights shining in our center. So welcome to the family with the little person there. Wonderful, wonderful to have you with us. Thanks for being there with us today. And so now it's time for our conscious giving affirmation. And we'll have that up on the screen here momentarily. Now on that affirmation, if you're at home or wherever you may be watching this in our virtual community, you can donate to our center and its operations and support it by sending your check to 117 South Locust Street, and that's Visalia, California, 93291. Or you can go to our website and you can donate using the automatic donation. There's a donate button on the website. It's easy to find. So I'd like for us to take a look at this affirmation and say it together. And I'm going to say it first. And it is, I am so grateful my unique light shines brightly as I give my prosperity with joy. And now, if you'd like to say it with me, and just think about this. Just think about how grateful you really are. So grateful. I am so grateful. My unique light shines brightly as I give my prosperity with joy. You know, that's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? So ushers, if you'd like to begin your collections, we would be grateful for that service. This is a time when we get to share our treasure, our talents, our time. You know, all of those things come into play in this center, and we have been well blessed so often and so steadfastly by so many to keep our center operating wonderfully throughout interesting times. And we have been fully supported and so blessed. And for this, we are so grateful. I know that these gifts that are given must come back because we live in a reciprocal universe. And so those gifts come back to the giver 100-fold or more. And now as our host receives those gifts, I just want to take this moment to bless them, to give thanks. I know that these gifts come from the love of pure spirit, and that love of pure spirit is emanating through each individual who has given and sustains and supports our center. And so I bless these gifts. I know they do good work in our center, in our community, and in the world. And so it is. And now it's time when we do our peace song. And if you'd all like to gather around, if this is your first time here, everybody gathers and we sing the peace song. And you can hold hands. And if you're comfortable with holding hands, that's great. If you're not, that's okay too. No problem. Do whatever you are most comfortable with. The words will be up on the screen, so you'll be able to sing along. And everything will be perfect. We'll get that going in just a moment.
Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there
Okay. Now I'm on. I don't know what happens sometimes. We get our things together. Anyway, that was a beautiful music and a beautiful song. I heard everybody. And so thank you. And now this is the time when we get to close out our service. And we do this little thing for those of you who may be new or not familiar with it. We do a little thing, and everybody who's there knows how this works. And if you are moved, you can repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Now, life is in my mind, and life is in my body, and it's in the body of my affairs. I think it. Oh, and I feel it. And I love it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. And together we may say, ready? Thank you, life. All right, everyone. Let me know what you prefer for the Let's Talk Science of Mind on Sundays, and I will see you next Sunday. Same bat channel, same bat time. It's been wonderful being with you. Have a wonderful week. Let your light shine.